Good morning. Happy Saturday. I hope everyone has had a good week. I hope if you didn't, it's Saturday and it's another opportunity to change your situation for the better. Whether you need to get out of it or whether you need to find a way to make it better. I am sitting here outside painting. It's one of my ways to overcome and release tension, instead of, drinking or what have you. So I'm painting. And I want to talk about the mental health issues of children of incarcerated parents. I think it is a major issue in this country that is not dealt with until those children become adults and they are either victims of some sort or menaces to society. When my dad first went to prison, I started having nightmares. The nightmares started off with, my dad is gone. I just was calling my dad's name in my sleep, which then turned into me having nightmares about other people. My uncle stealing my ice cream, and which is why I will probably never leave a plate around him ever in life. Which then turned into, I was in the 4th grade probably. I remember this boy looked under my dress. And I was fly. My mom was young. So in her mind, I was really fly for school. I had on this brown suede skirt set. So it was a brown suede skirt, a brown suede vest, and some brown tights. And this little boy, we were lining up to go outside for recess or something like that. And this little boy kept pretending to fall and was sticking his head up under my skirt. And after that, now I'm having nightmares about my dad, nightmares about my uncle stealing my ice cream, and now this little boy. And so I was actually physically sick. And at that time, I had so many different issues at that time. And the doctors didn't know what was going on with my body. They said I had overreactive hormones. So I'm super tall as it is. I was also 8 years old, developing, I was developing pretty early. And so I'm getting CAT scans, going to the doctor. But then at the same time, I was so stressed that I wasn't having a bowel movement. And, my mom taking me to the doctor, not understanding what's going on, and weeks had gone by. And, the bottom line from that is, when parents are incarcerated, I think it's really important for the children to get counseling of some sort immediately. I know at that time, in our community, we weren't thinking about counseling. That was never first on our mind. And then at that time, so many of black kids were getting diagnosed with ADHD. And so we were running from those things. We were running from diagnosis. So, I know the children that grew up in the 80s, like myself, probably have so many mental health issues because also the crack era. And so many of our parents was in prison, and gone. And so many of us, it makes sense why so many of us are struggling. So many of us are continuing that cycle of being in and out of prison. And also so many of us have mental health issues that weren't addressed in our childhood. And now we are adults in society. And we're still dealing with issues that we didn't deal with as children. So while I definitely didn't get counseling when my dad went to prison, I don't even think that was a thought. And it's no slight against my mom. I really don't think that was a slight. I don't think that was a thought. She put me in counseling for the first time at 16. But It was because I was going through stuff at 16 and I just didn't want to live. And so, but I think even then, I think I may have only had like 1 or 2 counseling sessions. And I went back to counseling again at 18 because again, I'm in college, away from home, doing things I've never done before, and I don't want to live. And of course, all of that is naturally came from, having a parent in prison, not having my father in my life, dating men, boys, or whatever, and being rejected. And that rejection just repeating itself over and over again because my dad was gone. So it was like I constantly rejected. Dad's gone. 16. First boyfriend. Rejection. Go to college. First college boyfriend. Rejection. And so it was either rejection or abuse. But like I said earlier, I grew up in one of those families as well. So, a lot of mental health issues that weren't addressed. And so I think it's important that when a parent does go to prison, to address some of those issues while the child is a child. But if you are an adult and you realize you are quick to anger or even slow to anger, you are developing unhealthy relationships with people, or like myself, you don't have boundaries, and don't have boundaries in a sense I'm always trying to please people, and allowing them to cross boundaries with me because I don't want people to be mad at me, because if someone is mad at me, that will be another loss. I have this fear of losing people, even though if you ask people that know me, they'll say, Hillary doesn't care. She'll cut you off quick. And I'll say it too. I got my cutoff game is quick, but it's actually really not like that. People think it is because I talk a good game, and I talk a good game as a defense mechanism. So if it did come to them cutting me off or the situation no longer existing, I guess maybe I had mentally prepared myself by telling them that. But, and so it's okay as adults to go to counseling, to realize and understand why you're the type of person that you are. But if you were a child of an incarcerated parent and you didn't get counseling then, there's some counseling. It's not saying that you have a problem, that you need to be diagnosed with something, but we all have that inner child that didn't process their thoughts and feelings, and that then dictates who we are today. And you probably, if you into church and God, you probably also didn't break those generational curses either. And so you need to be specific on those issues. So the mental issues that you may have developed through that, or even the parent going to prison, you need to break those curses too, so that doesn't continue on with you and your children and future generations. So basically this Saturday post was, I really encourage people who are in prison, are children of incarcerated parents, to really get some counseling. Find ways to channel that anxiety and stress into other things. If you're like myself, if you love music, I do that. If you like to write like myself, I do that. Or paint, like I'm doing now. To channel, something to channel all those emotions into, so that you can continue to be the best person that you need to be. So I hope everyone has a good weekend. I hope that you guys are safe. Find something nice to do for someone else. Be good to people, no matter what. Show up for people, especially because so many people need you to show up for them. Like me, I've had, my last couple of weeks have been up and down emotionally. And so I know it's the holiday season. I know so many other people are dealing with similar issues. So if you have people around you, I encourage you to be nicer to them. Try to dig a little bit deeper with them. See if there's anything that you can offer them. Be there for them. Be a shoulder. Be a sounding board. Something to help our loved ones just to be a little bit better. And so, most of all, you guys be nicer to each other. You never know what somebody else is going through. Happy Saturday, and I hope you guys have a lovely weekend. We'll talk soon.